Hello, everybody. Can you guys let me know if you guys can hear me okay? Hey, Amanda. Hey, TCE, how are you? She says that she's. Oh, shit. We don't need to be hearing that. Let me lower that. Hold on. But I guess you guys could hear me because I could hear myself. TCE says she's ready for updates. I'm behind. Good. Good, good. So I'm gonna just jump right into this. This was a live I wanted to do yesterday, but I could not get into doing one because I was coughing up a storm. So just FYI, you guys, if I'm coughing a little bit too much, just let me know and I'll just cut this live. Hey, Sandy. Hey, Cricket. You guys are all saying you guys could hear me? Perfect. All right, today we're going to be talking about Harmony Montgomery. And today is Tuesday, January 11th, 2022. So happy Tuesday to everybody. Now, Harmony Montgomery, she is 7 years old right now. She has blonde hair, blue eyes. She is blind in her right eye and should be wearing glasses. She's estimated to be 4 foot tall and about 50 pounds. She was last seen in October of 2019. Any information, please contact the Manchester Police Department with any information at 603-668-8711 or the Manchester Crime Line at 624-4040. Now, I'm going to start with the newest updates and then work my way back. And we're going to watch Harmony's mother, Crystal's new interview she did with Brian Enton on News Nation. We're going to watch that towards the end. Hey Scott, how are you? Vanza says, hi from South Africa. Been hooked on this case. Well, I'm glad you are interested in this case. I personally just messaged my mods and I had said something like, I feel like this case needs more attention. I feel like right now we need as many people, many eyes on this case because right now, whether you believe Harmony is still alive or unfortunately not alive, she's out there somewhere. And it just breaks my heart to know that this little girl is somewhere out there. And somebody or somebody's knows. Hey, sweet Sherry. And I hope you guys can't hear this mouth noise I'm doing with my hauls. I apologize if you can. I know nothing about this case yet, Cricket. Well, I do have I did do another live on this and I did a video on it. So please, I'm not going to go too much in start from the very beginning because I already did that. I'm going to just go over the updates. Hey, I plead the fifth. Amanda says, let me see what Amanda says. She says, do you think they found anything in the backyard? They defrosted it yesterday. Well, they were seen leaving, like the agents were seen leaving with brown paper bags, and no one knows what they actually found. The home has been opened up again to the families back living there. There are new residents that live there. They're back there. The street, I was looking for updates. The street has been opened up again, so I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I feel bad for the family that lives in the house. Imagine moving into a home, you live there with your family. I'm not sure who actually lives there, but imagine living there and then all of this unfolds and then your backyard looks the way it looks. I would just be devastated. I don't know if I'd be able to continue living there. Oh, Scott, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I wanted to go live yesterday, but I have this cough, you guys. It's like a choking cough, and it's really annoying and embarrassing. I feel like I sent Amanda and Sky a message, and I'm like coughing it through the whole message. It's just annoying. Hey, Libby, good morning to you. Hey, Dee, I wasn't sure if you got my message, Dee. I'm glad you're here. All right, you guys. So what you guys are looking at on the screen right now is some photos from the search. And I'm going to go ahead and read a article, and it gives you kind of like just what they were doing throughout the weekend, what was brought and stuff like that. I want to start with the search right now because I think that's the most important thing. This is going to be the backyard where Harmony was last living at the residence. She was last living with Adam, her dad, and then her stepmother Kayla Montgomery. All right, so let me pull up this article. All right, guys. So several people from the Manchester Police and the FBI Evidence Response Team, ERT, are on scene. They were on scene at 77 Guildford Street. Now, they were there throughout the weekend, searching for any evidence and obviously possibly remains of Harmony. The Gifford Street home has been the subject of significant activity for several days. It is the last place that missing 7-year-old Harmony Montgomery was seen back in 2019. Now, on Saturday, they brought in special equipment, and the equipment was described to have the capability to map ground areas on concrete slabs, looking for any voids, so any disturbance in the ground. That equipment they brought on Saturday was able to do. Later that day, on Saturday, large tarps were brought to the scene and unloaded near the house. I think once those tarps, we seen the tarps and the tents, I think a lot of us were immediately going to, oh my gosh, did they find any human remains? I know I thought that. Once I seen the tents go up, my heart was just like, oh my gosh, did they find something? On Sunday, a unit and what they used was something that construction sites use to thaw the frozen ground, was also on the scene. Now, the tarps that had been brought on Saturday covered the backyard, and the unit in the driveway was running heat to the area under the tarps. At this point, there has been no official confirmation of what the agencies are specifically searching for, or if there was a tip that led them back to search the home the way they did. Now, the reward for the whereabouts of Harmony Montgomery has grown to $94,000, and there is a dedicated tip line that can be reached at 603-203-6060. So again, over the weekend and yesterday, the ERT, they were there on the scene. They were searching the ground to see if any disturbance had been there. They brought up the tarps. They had the tents there. There's some photos of them leaving there with brown paper bags. Usually, if it's in a brown paper bags, I know people were saying it's possibly something with DNA on it. Obviously, law enforcement, they've been really quiet. They didn't say if it was because of a tip that led them back there, or I know I read something that they were going back there because obviously this is going to be the home that Harmony last lived at. Okay, hold on, guys. Kim says all evidence goes into brown paper bags. All right, let me share this with you guys really quick. And it's going to seem like I'm going really fast right now in the very beginning with all my reading and everything, because I'm trying to get through it without coughing. So just wanted to say that really quick. All right. And you guys, thank you guys for being here with me as always and talking all these different cases. Okay. Cricket said some evidence goes into plastic bags as well. Okay, can you guys see that on the screen? Let me take that off. I think you guys could. Okay, so this was today. And again, the source would be Nerdy Attic and I get it from Twitter. He's really good at getting that drone footage. But it says Adam Montgomery appears in court yesterday. He was shivering and fidgeting. He has new bald spots because when he uses or withdraws, he picks at his head. He was hurting and you could see it. I read this and I immediately had no sympathy for him. Again, for anyone that is new to the case, Adam Montgomery is Harmony's father, and I hate even calling him that. Um, he is the one, Harmony was last in his care, and we have learned that, and we're going to go into some of that in a little bit. We have learned now that there was some incidents back in 2019. The uncle has come forward and said that his name is Kevin. He's stated that the last time he seen Harmony, she had a black eye, and that Adam admitted to him that, he pretty much bashed her around the room. He got really upset with her. And shortly after that, it seems like no one has seen Harmony. So I have no sympathy for him. And then learning this right here, again, Nerdy Attic is the source. Breaking yesterday in DCYF hearing, authorities asked Adam Montgomery, again, that's her father, about Harmony's whereabouts. Now it says he refused to answer the questions after being asked several times. The judge subsequently held Adam Montgomery in contempt of court. So it seems like Adam is refusing to answer any questions when it comes to Harmony. And it's so frustrating because it's 2 years now. 2 years this little girl has not been seen. And it's frustrating. Someone needs to talk. And I'm really hoping Kayla, who's a stepmom, she starts talking. Because right now it doesn't seem like Adam is going to say anything. Seriously, family knew she was being abused and did nothing with that. Cricket. I like your name, by the way, Cricket. So Kevin, the uncle, he actually called and reported it to Children's Services. And that is what we all want to know about. We want to know how come nothing was done about that. He's saying that he reported it. There seems to be numerous reports, and everyone's failed this child. Everyone has failed. Hey, Taylor. She says, I'm new here. Well, welcome, everyone. Give Taylor a big welcome. Hey, Starry Nights. How are you? And I don't think Adam is going to end up saying anything. I think he's going to continue to be a-hole and not do the right thing. I think if anything, I'm hoping, maybe I'm just praying actually that Kayla is the one who starts to talk. I hope she does. Now let's jump into Kayla. And again, you guys, I'm going really fast because I'm just trying to get all this reading out of the way just because of this cough I have. Let's see if you guys have any questions. Hey, sweet Sherry. I don't know if I said hello to you, love. Let me get to my other screen. The great uncle Scott believes, and this is his opinion, the great uncle is extremely sketch and questionable, not for Harmony being missing, but for attempting to appear caring and worried 2 years after the fact of a disappearance of a 5-year-old. Well, I think, and that's Scott's opinion. You know, I think it's for myself. Like, I think if I seen my nephew with a black eye and the father telling me, that he pretty much abused her, I feel like all ties get cut loose when it comes to children. That is something that there's just no going around it. You hurt a child, in my eyes, there's no forgiveness there. Like, all that ties of family goes out the door. It's all about that child. He says he called and reported it. Even with Harmony's mom, Crystal, there's a lot of people saying that she should have did this. And I agree, what should have been done, I feel should have been more. But again, I'm just an outsider, if that makes sense. Hey, Demon. Hey, Lady is a Trump. How are you feeling today? Now, this is going to be Harmony's stepmom, and I hate calling her that. I really do. She's the monster, the step monster, we'll call her, okay? Kim says, yeah, how do you hurt a child like that? Trashed her around the house. Yeah. And also abuse that we've learned is that she was put in a corner for hours. She was made to clean the toilet with her own toothbrush. And I just have a hard time thinking that Kayla didn't witness any of this. I'm sorry. I'm not buying that. You live in a home with someone, a child's in a corner for hours, and you don't see any abuse going on. I just don't buy that. I'm sorry. So this is Kayla, and we learned that she's right now, um, Kayla Montgomery, she's 31 years old. She was arrested on Wednesday on felony welfare fraud charges after investigators accused her of collecting food stamps between December 2019 and June 2021 for Harmony Montgomery. So she was collecting food stamps when Harmony was no longer in her care, even though the little girl did not live with her. Harmony Montgomery has been the subject of an intensive search effort since investigators in Manchester were informed about her not being seen for more than 2 years. A judge set Kayla Montgomery's bail at $5,000 cash with several conditions. Now, late Friday, however, the New Hampshire Department of Health and Human Services informed prosecutors it had found additional documentation that potentially raised concern for the offense level of the welfare fraud charge. Officials did not say specifically what the information was, but a review led prosecutors to communicate with Kayla Montgomery's defense about the new evidence. Now, prosecutors said new charges would be filed in Hillsborough County Superior Court. Now, once bail was set on the new charges, the original welfare fraud charge will be noel processed. Did I say that correctly? Kayla Montgomery's defense attorney, Paul Getty, filed a motion to reconsider and reopen her bail conditions on Monday, stating that due to the change, the welfare fraud charge would be dropped. The undersigned counsel was informed by attorney Jesse O'Neill from the Attorney General's office that his office received information that indicates that the Class A felony of welfare fraud is unfounded, although a lesser charge or charges may be warranted. This led all of us yesterday to think that a plea was taking place. I know I immediately thought that because it is being said that, the Class A felony welfare fraud charge was being unfounded. It led all of us to think, like, how is that even possible? She's collecting food stamps for a child that is no longer in her care. How's that unfounded? So I immediately jumped to the conclusion, like, oh, a deal is being placed. And I honestly, I don't care if a deal is being placed. I want this chick to talk. I want Harmony to be found. That's all I care about right now. But then, now prosecutors countered on Tuesday, which is today, that the bail should not be changed since a Class A theft charge was one of the 9 new charges. So something we're learning today is that they are charging her with an additional 8 charges. Okay. In this motion, the defense argues that the issue of bail should be reopened based on the state's information that the defendant would no longer be charged with a Class A felony. Now, the prosecutors told the court in a filing today, however, because the defendant will remain charged with a Class A felony under a different statute, as well as an additional 8 new charges, the defendant's motion should be denied and bail should remain set. Now, give me 1 second, guys. Now, from the motion today, because I did see it. So the motion for today, let me see. So the bail for that they wanted to reopen for the bail and get it lowered has been denied. Now, um, let me see this. So this is part of the new motion right here. Now, on Monday, January 10th, 2022, so this is from today. So yesterday we learned that what I just read, that the charges for the fraud was gonna, it was unfounded. It led all of us to speculate that there was a deal. Well, it turns out that on Monday, January 10th, 2022, DHHS provided the state the defendant's file from January 1st of 2019 to present. So they handed over her file. After a review of the file and a consultation with DHHS employees, the state anticipates filing charges for a Class A felony, theft by deception, and they're doing an additional 8 misdemeanor charges pursuant to, and it gives the code. So not only is she being, it's a felony by theft deception, she's also being charged with an additional 8 misdemeanor charges. It expects to file these charges on January 11th, which is today. Once bail has been set on these new charges, the state expects it will file a not even gonna try it, on the Class A. So I'm wondering if they're trying to get her with additional charges. Is this a way to maybe get her to talk? I'm not sure. What do you guys think about it? Kim says she couldn't sell my child. It's okay, Delana. I'm wondering if, because we haven't learned, because I was looking at everything, we haven't learned what these additional 8 charges are yet. I was trying to see if I can find it out before I came on here. So far I couldn't, but I'm thinking they're trying to get her to talk. That's my opinion. My opinion, you guys, after we go over some of the things, she lived in the home. She had to witness this abuse. So I think they're trying to get her to talk. That's my opinion. Oh my goodness. Hey, Open Minds, how are you? But her bail to get lowered has been denied, which I'm glad. You ain't going nowhere. I hope she does not get released. I'm like, no. I think if anything, I think she's going to be the one who talks, and maybe I'm just hoping. No, Dee, she didn't bond out. No. People, that was something that was being put out there, that I think you mean bond, not bones, right? Bonded. No, that was something that people had thought it was like being put out there that she had bonded out the other day. And then I know I went to look to see if she did. Other people were looking to see if her name was still popping up in the system, and it was. So then we were hearing that, oh, she went to an appointment. And I was thinking, okay, what kind of appointment? Because you're in jail. They don't take you to your hair appointment. Sorry, honey, that ain't happening. So I was just wondering, what appointment could she have been taken to? Then other people were kind of speculating that, oh, maybe she's going through withdrawals and, they're taking her to the doctor. I don't know. There was all kinds of rumors being put out there, but no, she did not bond out. She's still there. And then others had speculated, because there was a photo of a girl, and it was like the backside of her at the scene, at the house on 77 Griffin, what was it, Griffin Street. Did I say that right? And everyone thought that was her. So people were thinking, did they take her out to go show them something, which is a total possibility. Yeah, they said for methadone. Yeah, that's what I read too, Mark. But we don't know if that is like confirmed or not. But that was one of the things I had seen, that she was removed for an appointment, and people were saying that it was because it was for methadone. Now, what you guys are looking at on the screen, this was just posted, and it's from a statement from Crystal Sorey, who is Harmony's biological mother. Now, for the people that are extremely new, Crystal lost custody to her children. They were actually removed from her care. It was Harmony and her younger brother, because the mother suffered from addiction and the kids were placed in foster care. Her little brother, Jameson, he was fostered out into a home, a loving home, and Harmony was placed back then with Adam, unfortunately. So she says, I'm just going to read it to you guys. D, I'm not sure how that is in there, actually. That's a good question. Does anyone know that? Let me highlight that while I read this. Maybe somebody can answer that in chat. I'm not sure, to be honest with you guys. Autumn says, hi, Autumn. She says, methadone is too strong. Okay, I'm going to read this, you guys. As a mother who has confronted addiction, I realize too I have failed Harmony in the past. But the safety nets in place that were supposed to protect Harmony during my battle, including DCYF and law enforcement, failed my little girl. Battling addiction is common in this country. Recovery is less common, but I took the necessary steps to do that. Once I did recover, I kicked and screamed against the legal challenges to find out where Harmony was and if she was safe. Both DCYF and police failed to answer me during those periods. Today, they wish to minimize that. I've been honest about my past. Are they? And again, this is a statement that Crystal, who is Harmony's mother, made. I'm going to go now and play her interview that she did with Brian Entin from News Nation. I'm just closing. I have so much stuff open on my screen so it doesn't echo. Okay. Kim says, methadone in a jail, not unless prescribed to an inmate. Likely, no, they don't get much of comfort drugs. Yeah. They usually get Tylenol, she says. Then we got me stumped. Hello. Yes, a lot of prisons offer methadone clinics. Gretchen, how are you? She says, in California, methadone is not given freely for people on heroin in jail. Cricket says, it's been a long time since I've seen a case that didn't involve drugs, maybe the Chris Watts case. Unfortunately, there is a lot of drugs. Especially when we hear of, some type of abuse against a child, yes, we do hear more about drugs. Unfortunately, lately, the cases I've been covering, you guys, I'm not sure about you, but the ones I've been looking at, one thing that always stands out, the child seems to always be 5 years old. And I don't know if it's just the ones I'm covering, but it's just so strange to me. They're all 5 years old, and drugs are also either one parent or another parent suffered from some type of addiction. Now, with the Chris Watts case, they never gave Chris a drug test. really quick. I don't want to get into that case right now, but I do wonder if Chris was on anything at the very end. I personally think that him and that's just me speculating in my opinion, but I do think Chris Watts and his mistress were on something. I think they were doing drugs. That's just my personal opinion. Okay, let me pull up the interview. I hope you guys are all enjoying your Tuesday, by the way. And thank you guys again for being here with me. And let me pull up the full interview she did. Okay. Who's bringing up those Thrive patches? I actually, while I'm loading this, I did when I was covering the Watts case, I wanted to try Thrive. But I looked at their shake ingredients and I was just like, yeah, they're healthy, but they just had added stuff where I was like, I can go to my local Whole Foods and get a better protein supplement than that with less crap in it. Yeah, so I didn't end up doing it. And plus, they were hella expensive in my opinion. And I was like, I can go to Whole Foods and get some stuff that I think is better in my opinion. No bashing towards any of that if anyone sells that or anything. Okay, let me share my screen, you guys. Thrive is the new crack patch. Hey, you know what? I've been hearing some crazy ass stories. Actually, if you go on YouTube and you look up that Thrive, there's people who have tried it and they share their story, and it's pretty crazy how it makes them feel. I personally don't like anything that makes me feel jittery or shaky or my heart pounding. Like, no, I don't like any of that feeling. I'm gonna have a heart attack. No, thank you. All right, you guys. So type of one, let me know. Have you guys watched this interview? Oops.
Look, it happened for 2 years because
We're jumping ahead. Hold on, News Nation. You're going ahead. So this is Missing Harmony Montgomery's Mother Speaks Out. This is a full interview. Brian Enton, you guys all know him if you're from my channel. If not, he is a reporter. And this is News Nation right here. So credit to them. You have not seen it. I see some ones. Okay. I've watched it like 3 times already. And this is being shared in the Facebook group already. And I'm not sure if you guys have Facebook. I know a lot of people don't have Facebook. It's pretty interesting how many of my subscribers tell me they don't have it. I always thought everyone had Facebook. I don't really post anything on my personal Facebook. I haven't in a long time. I think I randomly will post something or I accidentally share something on there from my Instagram. But I just keep my Facebook for my groups and because I have so many of my old school friends on there. So I see a lot of one. Okay. Mar says she don't have Facebook. Autumn don't have Facebook. Okay. All right, I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it all the way through.
if I can't speak for her, who else is going to? Look, it happened for 2 years because I wasn't her voice, or I couldn't be, or nobody could hear me.
Where did you think Harmony was for the last 2 years?
I thought she was with her dad, and he was just being a jerk. Really, that's what I hoped was happening, But in my heart, I knew something was wrong. Something was very wrong. Like he was going to extremes to block me and make sure that I couldn't contact her or anything, or even to the point like once his family started calling DCYF and he knew, he then cut them off, and then I couldn't even get information from them, because at least I could get information about what was going on through them. Couldn't even get anything from them. He literally cut anybody that questioned him about how he treated Harmony or what he was doing. He cut them off.
When was the last time you actually saw Harmony?
In a FaceTime video, like 2-3 days before Easter. I showed her basket. I said, I'm coming in a couple days. Mommy got you a basket, I held on to that basket for a year and some change, hoping, that I'd have a chance to give it to her.
And what did she seem like when you saw her on FaceTime?
terrified. I would say, hey, what's going on? What'd you eat for lunch? What'd you do today? Are you going to school yet? Like, how are your brothers and sisters? You got any friends? Little questions like that. I'm her mom. Like, I want to know these things. I want to know she's happy. And every time I asked these things, he would pause it and he'd tell whatever he'd say to her. I can't hear him. He'd mute it. And he'd be like, don't tell her, da, 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 don't, da. And she'd be like, and I'm watching her. So he'd unmute it. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, why are you muting it every time I ask her a question? Why aren't you letting her talk to me? Why are you answering for her? Like, you're acting weird, Adam. I'm like, what's going on? Like, we're co-parenting. Like, you're letting me have visits. Like, what's going on? He's like, I have sole custody, sole decision making. You don't get to ask me shit. And he hangs up and blocks me. And that was the last thing I had contact with her and saw her at all.
What made you call the police before Christmas?
It was a couple of weeks. I had called right after he stopped talking to me, but I was talking to my therapist and I was telling her, like, listen, this is affecting my mental health. I can't sleep. I'm super depressed. Like, my son's well taken care of, but me personally, I was really sad, like something right here all the time, just telling me, like, you got to get her, and I said to my therapist, I said, no one's hearing me. I've made reports. I've talked to desk people at DCF office because I didn't have a certain extension because Demetrius wasn't on the case anymore, which was the person that was supposed to remove her that didn't. He knew Adam personally. He was Adam's DYS counselor. So he was a conflict of interest from the beginning. So the 3 times they were supposed to remove her, they didn't because he knew him personally. And then I got word when Mauricio had reached out to me and said, I was told you had made past reports. And then they started asking me questions about Harmony. And I said, I still haven't seen or heard from her, nothing. And didn't hear anything. The guy I have all the text messages from the guy basically doing nothing. So I reached out to the mayor and I said, listen, if you guys don't help me find my daughter, because DCYF and DCF and Mass dropped the ball on this one, let her slip through the cracks. I said, I'm going straight to the media. I don't care. It was like hours later, I got a phone call from the police in Manchester. And I had already called the Manchester police. They told me I couldn't file a missing persons report because he had physical custody of her. So they said, they told me go to court and file a petition to get custody. So I go there and they tell me if it's a DCYF open case, then I can't go there and go to court. So they were running, sent me around for busy work, you know what I mean? While they were trying to figure out how to cover their butt. And it was just, when they knew I couldn't do anything at the courthouse, but they still sent me over there, you know what I mean? And then, the cops called me and they're like, we're completely involved now. DCYF told me this is really, really suspicious, blah, blah, blah. And then it came on the news.
Have you ever seen Adam be violent?
Yeah, when I was in a relationship with him, he used to choke me. I was pregnant with her, he choked me, like all kinds of stuff. If you did more than him, he'd choke you. If you were texting and he didn't want you to, or somebody he didn't like, he would do whatever to you, scream at you, get in your face, whatever. He uses his intimidation and manipulation to get what he wants. Always has.
Have you ever seen him be violent towards Harmony?
Towards her, not me seeing this, but we had a play therapist that she had while he was getting visits when I had custody of her. And even my play therapist had made a report before he got custody, mind you. I still had custody of her at this point. The play therapist made a report of abuse saying there was definite abuse going on in the house during visits. And when she told me that, I completely never let him have visits with her again, because Nan was supervising them. And there was once or twice where she had doc's appointments and stuff. So she wasn't there the whole time. And he's short-tempered, so he, as soon as he gets a second or loses his temper, he's going to hit her, And my daughter is, she's just like me, she talks a lot and she's excited and she's smart, she kind of even thinks she might even know a little bit more than you, even though she doesn't. But that's just her, and she's just beautiful like that. But I just don't ever see someone getting so angry to where they bash her around the house, as he said. I just don't understand. If that was the case and that's what you planned on doing with her, why go for custody? Spite me. To spite me. That's all it was. It was never for love for Harmony.
Did he ever speak negatively of Harmony?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He'd say, when I talked to him, I'm like, so what was going on at the visits? Like, I questioned him about what the therapist had said. Hence telling him no more visits, because he was blowing on my phone. He was supposed to pick her up and I didn't answer. Then he showed up to the sober house in Roxbury making a scene, and the director was like, we'll call the cops on you, and I told him, this is why you're doing extreme punishments to her. She all kinds of stuff like that the therapist had gotten out of her just by playing dolls in a dollhouse. Imagine. I was horrified. I was like, no. I told DCF, and that was that. Like, months later, they hand over custody.
How is it possible she got to stay with him after all of that?
I don't understand. I still don't understand to this day. I had a court date on the same day of that hearing for Jameson's adoption. So I sent over to get a continuance from the courthouse saying, hey, we need a different court date. I can't cut myself in half. They denied my continuance and just handed him over custody because they wanted to wash their hands of the case. They were done with it. It was the lady said it was open 4 years too long.
So I know. Oh, sorry. Come back a little bit this way.
Oh, sorry.
Stay in one spot. Yeah, okay.
I was trying to get out the wind.
No,
it was like,
whew. Only a few more questions and we'll be done. I know it's cold.
I don't know where he is. He needs to just come give me my coat.
I know. I mean, these are tough questions to ask a mom,
Yeah.
but I mean, do you think Harmony's alive?
I still believe she's here. I think he has her with either like his mother that no one knows really anything about because she never raised him, but I think he would call his mom or hit her up on Facebook and say, I'm in real bad trouble. I need you to take her. You're the only one that no one knows. You know what I mean? I feel like she's still here. I would know, man. Like I said before, a mother knows. When your baby's not here anymore. You feel it the day it happens, and I've woken up with panic attacks and woke up calling family members freaking out because like I just have a terrible feeling all the time. But it's not a feeling of that she's not here anymore,
With his violent past and addiction, I mean, do you think he could have?
I feel like he sold her. I think he sold her because the same week that they're saying this happened, the day after Thanksgiving to December 6th, was the week after my son legally got adopted on the news. You know what I mean? And he knew what my son looked like. He, that's my daughter's brother, So he saw that, and I really think it's connected. I think like he got that idea from seeing that and was like, oh, I can do it illegally, because not for nothing, right around the same time, human trafficking was at an all-time high. So was Oregon harvesting, which I don't even want to go there, but at least if you sold it to a family that legally can adopt or something, there's still hope that she's at least safe somewhere,
Do you feel any guilt?
Oh, yeah, every day. I played a part in this. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm innocent. Like, I'm a recovering addict. Like, when I gave birth to her, I didn't know nothing about being a parent. I didn't know nothing about getting in recovery, but I never stopped trying. I always went into program after program after program, trying to, prove to her and my family that I wasn't going to stop until I got better, And I just, especially when I kept reaching out to Adam, kept reaching out. Like I even was like, I even wanted to show him, like, look how far I've come, Yeah, there's a lot of shame and guilt, that come with this. But it's not gonna set me back. It's gonna motivate me to keep fighting for her and keep looking for her, because if I can't speak for her, who else is going to, look what happened for 2 years because I wasn't her voice, or I couldn't be, or nobody could hear me. You know, I just want people to hear me and come forward and tell us something, because somebody knows something. It's a fact. Like, someone knows something, and either they're too afraid to get in trouble or whatever, but someone knows something.
And just my last question: the search happening at the house now.
They're just scouring for any type of anything,
Do
really.
you think there's something at that house?
No, I don't have a feeling like there's. I get these crazy intuitions, I always have, and I don't have any type of intuition about that house. I feel like they're wasting time, to be honest, but that's just my opinion. I'm also hoping as well, that there's nothing. So
Well, thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it, Crystal. I know it's
Yeah.
not easy.
It's okay.
Okay, I'm going to hold on. Let me do it again. Hold on, guys. Let me clear it out. I'm going to replay it because I do want to replay it and stop it at certain times. I wanted to just play it all the way through for you guys. Hey, Delana. I was just going to type it. Hello, girl. Is your internet working better? So I wanted to let it play through, and I wanted to see what you guys were saying in chat. That's why I kind of just stayed quiet for all of it. But now I do want to replay it and go over it with you guys.
If I can't speak for her, who else is going to?
Okay. Let me share my screen again. Now, at the end of the day, my heart breaks for Harmony, because after this, we'll go over some of the reports that we've learned as of yesterday of calls being made to the house. I think there was, hold on, let me clear all that off the screen. I think there was a total of 13? I need to go back and look when I pull it up, but 13 calls or something like that to that property when they lived there, from a time frame of just a few months. Now, I agree with everybody in chat. I agree that everyone failed Harmony, everybody. I feel like I can easily say, they should have did more. She should have contacted law enforcement earlier than this. Family members should have been, contacting and making more, we can all just say they could have done more. Now, you guys got to remember, she suffered from addiction. She lost her kids. And I'm not saying that as an excuse, but people who are addicted to drugs, one, they're selfish. Two, all they care about is getting high. They don't care about their kids. And either they're getting high and they get high because, one, maybe they start feeling guilty because they don't have their kids, so they're getting high again. Or two, they're just poor me and feeling guilty about themselves and getting high. Either way, they're just getting high and they're not doing what they should do. Now, she's saying that, in the time frame she got sober, and after she's sober, she wanted to have contact with her daughter. And I just wonder, she talks about this Easter basket thing back in 2019, and she held on to it. And I'm just wondering, what else did she do? Like, what about the next Easter? What about Christmas? Like, I don't know. It's just, I'm like you guys. Let me play this. I'm going to be stopping it.
If I can't speak for her, who else is going to? Look what happened for 2 years because I wasn't her voice, or I couldn't be, or nobody could hear me.
Where did you think Harmony was for the last 2 years?
I thought she was with her dad, and he was just being a jerk. Really, that's what I hoped was happening, But in my heart, I knew something was wrong. Something was very wrong. Like, he was going to extremes to block me and make sure that I couldn't contact her or anything, or even to the point, like, once his family started calling DCYF and he knew, he then cut them off, and then I couldn't even get information from them, because at least I could get information about what was going on through them. Couldn't even get anything from them. He literally.
I've watched this interview, and I've watched the other one she did they had like a little prayer thing for Harmony, and she was there. I do want to say, and I know a lot of are going to disagree. I think she's being sincere. I think she loves her daughter, she loves her kids, but unfortunately, she suffered from addiction. And there was a comment that Mar R said. She said, "Look, it's hard to recover, but that doesn't make you an evil person." No, and being addicted to drugs doesn't make you an evil person. And that's why I feel for her, because she suffered from addiction and she tried to get better, and now Harmony, her daughter, has suffered the ultimate price by all of this. All of this failure from everybody. Harmony's paid the price. So part of me has sympathy for her, but part of me gets angry also at the same time, because I think of Harmony, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters is this little girl. She was last seen when she was 5. She's 7 now. Um, and how she says that, she thought that Adam was just being, a D to her, pretty much, not letting her talk to Harmony. No way did she think something was really wrong at that moment. And I do believe her on that. Rhonda. Hey, Rhonda. She says, "Hey, Nicole, I seen you pop in. Let me see what Nicole said really quick." Nicole says, "This may sound incredibly judgmental, so that means it is. But I have a hard time relating to someone who is carrying a life inside of them, and then just become so attached from the child, unattached from the child. How could a mother not fight harder?" Well, Nicole, you got to remember, though, she isn't like you or me, who is sober right now. Who, in my mind, I'm sober. If I couldn't get a hold of my child, you bet your ass I'd be doing everything I can, calling police, driving, everything you can think of, using my social media, because I 100% believe social media, even though a lot of people think it's the devil, it does help spread awareness. It does. And one thing people have pointed out that was on her Facebook during this time, she didn't post anything about Harmony, like, "Hey, can someone help me?" I think she posted something on, I think it was TikTok. I could be wrong, but on her Facebooks, people are, pointing out how she just seemed to be living her life. But remember, though, she's an addict. So during this time, she's not thinking of her child. She's thinking of the drug. So her job, and in her mind, it isn't, "Oh, I'm going to fight and find my daughter." In her mind, it's, "I'm going to fight and find my next high." Unfortunately, that's how it is for an addict. Now she gets sober and doing recovery. That doesn't happen overnight, you guys, getting, sober. So again, I do have sympathy for her, and I do believe she's being sincere. But then I'm also, at the same time, I'm like you guys, I am upset. I'm thinking she should have done more. She should have done X, Y, and Z. But then again, I'm an outsider and I'm sober. You know what I mean? And it makes me angry, because at the end of the day, Harmony paid the price. She's paid the price. 2 years, no one has seen her, and learning what her father is capable of, it's very disheartening, in my opinion.
Because anybody that questioned him about how he treated Harmony or what he was doing, he cut them off.
When was the last time you actually saw Harmony?
In a FaceTime video, like 2-3 days before Easter. I showed her basket. I said, "I'm coming in a couple days. Mommy got you a basket." I held on to that basket for a year and some change, hoping, that I'd have a chance to give it to her.
And what did she seem like when you saw her on FaceTime?
Terrified. I would say, "Hey, what's going on? What'd you eat for lunch? What'd you do today? Are you going to school yet? Like, how are your brothers and sisters? You got any friends?" Little questions like, "I'm her mom. Like, I want to know these things. I want to know she's happy." And every time I asked these things, he would pause it and he'd tell whatever he'd say to her. I can't hear him. He'd mute it. And he'd be like, "Don't tell her. Da, 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 don't." And she'd be like, and I'm watching her. So he'd unmute it. And I'm like, what's going on?
I don't know about you guys, but it makes me so upset. Poor little Harmony. The way she's just terrified. And her uncle, Kevin, also said the same thing. She looked terrified. And it angers me. It angers me. It makes me angry. And I agree. Amanda S. Vita says, "Harmony got lost in the sauce, and it's not okay." Clearly.
Like, why are you muting it every time I ask her a question? Why aren't you letting her talk to me? Why are you answering for her? Like, you're acting weird, Adam. I'm like, what's going on? Like, we're co-parenting. Like, you're letting me have visits. Like, what's going on? He's like, I have sole custody, sole decision making. You don't get to ask me shit. And he hangs up and blocks me. And that was the last thing I had contact with her and saw her at all.
What made you call the police before Christmas?
It was a couple of weeks. I had called right after he stopped talking to me, but I was talking to my therapist, and I was telling her, like, listen, this is affecting my mental health. I can't sleep. I'm super depressed. Like, my son's well taken care of, but me personally, I was really sad, like something right here all the time, just telling me, like, you got to get her, and I said to my therapist, I said, no one's hearing me. I've made reports. I've talked to desk people at DCF office because I didn't have a certain extension, because Demetrius wasn't on the case anymore, which was the person that was supposed to remove her that didn't. He knew Adam personally. He was Adam's DYS counselor. So he was a conflict of interest from the beginning. So the 3 times they were supposed to remove her, they didn't, because he knew him personally. And then I got word when Mauricio had reached out to me and said, I was told you had made past reports. And then they started asking me questions about Harmony. And I said, I still haven't seen or heard from her, nothing. And didn't hear anything. The guy I have all the text messages from the guy basically doing nothing. So I reached out to the mayor and I said,
I have a question for you guys. So she's stating that the person who was in charge of the reports, right? Let me see. Let me go back. Demetrius, I think she says. Hold on.
Heard from her, nothing, and didn't hear anything. The guy I have all the text messages from the guy basically doing nothing. Didn't, because he knew him personally. And then desk people at DCF office, because I didn't have a certain extension, because Demetrius wasn't on the case anymore, which was the person that was supposed to remove her that didn't. He knew Adam personally. He was Adam's DYS counselor. So he was a conflict of interest from the beginning. So the 3 times they were supposed to remove her, they didn't, because he knew.
So what she's stating is that this person who was supposed to remove Harmony from Adam's care, Demetrius, he's been removed from the case. So I'm wondering, does he not work there anymore? And that he had a personal relationship with Adam. Is that what she's saying here? Like they knew each other? And is that why she was never removed from the care? Is that what she's trying to insinuate? I'm just trying to make sure I got this clear. And Dad was in prison. He had done some time. I don't know. I don't know why Dad was given custody. I honestly, I really don't know. Oh, Gretchen. Really? So Demetrius should be questioned, I think. What was done and what wasn't done. I don't know. To me, he's on my radar.
Knew him personally. And then I got word when Mauricio had reached out to me and said, I was told you had made past reports. And then they started asking me questions about Harmony. And I said, I still haven't seen or heard from her, nothing. And didn't hear anything. The guy I have all the text messages from the guy basically doing nothing. So I reached out to the mayor and I said, listen, if you guys don't help me find my daughter, because DCYF and DCF and Mass dropped the ball on this one, let her slip through the cracks. I said, I'm going straight to the media. I don't care.
Oh, wait, was I reading it and you guys couldn't even hear it this whole time? Oh, Jesus. Amanda, you should have text me. So you guys didn't hear me reading this whole thing. Oh my gosh. Did you guys hear me? Say yes, you heard me read it. No, I was reading it to my freaking self. Oh, Lord. So you guys heard nothing. You guys didn't hear me read any of this? Okay, let's start all over. My apologies. When I share my YouTube, I have to mute it so it doesn't crackle. So I forgot to unmute it. Let's move on. Oh my gosh. Amanda, can you please send me like a red flag whenever that happens again? Hey, Amanda. Morning, afternoon. No, you didn't miss me totally reading something when I was muted. Let's just ignore that. Delana says she heard nothing. You can't see it? Let me zoom in for you, love. Let me zoom it out a little bit. Let me make it bigger for you guys here. Okay. Is that better for you? Again, so on the video you're just listening to Crystal speak, she mentions this. You did text me, and again, no text. I'm looking at my phone. She talks about during this interview about how she was going to email the mayor. So I want to pull it up for you guys to read it to you guys. And I just read it and no one heard anything because I was muted. So again, this was sent now December 29th, 2021 at 2:41 p.m. The subject is my daughter is missing, in danger, and DCYF won't help. Hello, Mayor. I am a single mother of 3. I currently only have 2 of my kids. My oldest daughter, Harmony, she's 7 years old. Her father, Adam Montgomery, has physical custody of her, and he is currently homeless and under the influence. DCYF has had an open case for my daughter and didn't remove her when they witnessed bruises, and the house at the time had no running water. Now it's a year later, and DCYF has done nothing to help me find her. She's supposed to be in the 1st grade. He never enrolled her into school this whole time. She missed important doctor's appointments she had since a baby due to her disability in her eye. Please, I'm begging for help in finding my daughter before she ends up like that little boy that just passed due to neglect through the department. And I'm not sure what case she was talking about right there. My next step is going to the media to get whatever help I need to find her and bring her home safe. My phone number is, of course, it's redacted. Please help. Thanks for your time and happy holidays. Again, this was sent at 2:41 p.m. on December 29th, 2021. And then the response was sent at 4:26 p.m. same day. And it says, thank you for reaching out. I'm sorry to hear about this situation. Unfortunately, the city doesn't have jurisdiction over DCYF or the court system. I encourage you to reach out to NH Legal Assistance to see if they would be able to review your case and provide legal assistance on the custody issue. They may be reached out. It gives the phone number. If you know your child is in immediate danger or physical harm and you believe this is an emergency situation, please do not hesitate to dial 911. You may also call police at a non-emergency line, it gives the phone number, to request a welfare check or to attempt to file a missing persons report. If you have already attempted to do these things but have not heard back, please let me know and I will check on the status of your case for you. I genuinely wish you the best of luck. So that was the response that was sent to her. It is heartbreaking, Delana. Very heartbreaking. All of it is. Hey, Lisa. Yeah, no running water, she says. All right, let me get back to her interview now. So that's the email she's talking about that she sent. My phone is on, Amanda. I just see what you wrote right now on there. But my phone is acting up. It is lagging. I don't know what's going on with it. I get my messages a little bit later. All right, hold on.
It was like hours later, I got a phone call from the police in Manchester. And I had already called the Manchester police. They told me I couldn't file a missing persons report because he had physical custody of her. So they said, like, they told me go to court and file there and go to court. So they were running, like, sending me around for busy work, you know what I mean, while they were trying to figure out how to cover their butt. And it was just, when they knew I couldn't do anything at the courthouse, but they still sent me over there, you know what I mean? And then, you know, the cops called me and they're like, we're completely involved now. DCOF told me this is really suspicious, blah, blah. And then it came on the news.
Have you ever seen Adam be violent?
Yeah, when I was in a relationship with him, he used to choke me. I was pregnant with her, he choked me, like all kinds of stuff. If you did more than him, he'd choke you. If you were texting and he didn't want you to, or somebody he didn't like, he would do whatever to you, scream at you, get in your face, whatever. He uses his intimidation and manipulation to get what he wants. Always has.
Have you ever seen him be violent towards Harmony?
This is really alarming to know that he has anger issues and she was placed back in his care. Android problems. Probably, I don't know, my phone has been acting up though, for sure. Can you guys hear the audio okay? I just want to make sure you guys can hear it okay. If not, let me know. Let me see what you guys say. You guys can hear? Okay.
Towards her, not me seeing this, but we had a play therapist that she had while he was getting visits when I had custody of her. And even my play therapist had made a report before he got custody, mind you. I still had custody of her at this point. The play therapist made a report of abuse, saying there was definite abuse going on in the house during visits. And when she told me that, I completely never let him have visits with her again, you know, because Nan was supervising them. And there was like once or twice where she had doc's appointments and stuff, so she wasn't there the whole time. And he's short-tempered, you know, so he, you know, as soon as he gets the second or loses his temper, he's gonna hit her, you know. And my daughter is she's just like me, you know. She talks a lot and she's excited and she's smart, you know. She kind of even thinks she might even know a little bit more than you know, even though she doesn't. But that's just her, and she's just beautiful like that. But I just don't ever see someone getting so angry to where they bash her around the house, as he said. You know, I just don't understand. If that was the case and that's what you planned on doing with her, why go for custody? Spite me. To spite me. That's all it was. It was never for love for Harmony.
Did he ever speak negatively of Harmony?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He'd say, when I talked to him, you know, like, so what was going on at the visits? You know, like, I questioned him about what the therapist had said. Hence telling him no more visits, because he was blowing on my phone. He was supposed to pick her up and I didn't answer. Then he showed up to the sober house in Roxbury making a scene, and the director was like, we'll call the cops on you, you know? And I told him, this is why you're doing extreme punishments to her. She all kinds of stuff like that the therapist had gotten out of her just by playing dolls in a dollhouse. Imagine. I was horrified. I was like, no. I told DCF, and that was that. Like, months later, they hand over custody.
How is it possible she got to stay with him after all of that?
I don't understand. I still don't understand to this day. I had a court date on the same day of that hearing for Jameson's adoption. So I sent over to get a continuance from the courthouse saying, hey, we need a different court date. I can't cut myself in half. They denied my continuance and just handed him over custody because they wanted to wash their hands of the case. You know, they were done with it. It was the lady said it was open 4 years too long.
So I'm wondering if this is why Adam was just given the custody, because pretty much what she's saying is she had two court dates, one for Jameson and one for Harmony, and she says she couldn't cut herself in half. So I'm gonna just assume she missed that court date. So is that why he was automatically given the custody of her?
So I know. Oh, sorry. Come back a little bit this way.
Oh,
Stay
sorry.
in one spot. Yeah. Okay.
I was trying to get out the wind.
No, I
It was
know.
like,
I'm sorry.
whew.
We only have 2 more questions and we'll be done. I know it's cold.
I don't know where he is. He needs to just come give me my coat.
I know. I mean, these are tough questions to ask a mom,
Yeah.
but I mean, do you think Harmony's alive?
I still believe she's here. I think he has her with either like his mother that no one knows really anything about because she never raised him, you know, but I think he would call his mom or hit her up on Facebook and say, I'm in real bad trouble. I need you to take her. You're the only one that no one knows. You know what I mean? I feel like she's still here. I would know, man. Like I said before, a mother knows. You know.
So she believes. I'm sorry, I stopped that at the wrong time. Look at her face. Um, she believes that Harmony is with his mom, and I can't find anything with regarding to who Adam's mom is. I'm not sure what anyone else was able to dig or where she lives exactly. Um, I'm gonna just I mean, I hope law enforcement has talked to all family members that are close to this case. One would be definitely his mother. Um, I know I heard rumors that she passed away, but obviously she didn't, because she's saying she believes that Harmony may be with his mother. Oh, yeah, Amanda, I agree. They say never to let anyone who has resentment towards you around your kids. Definitely. Yep. Because the second you leave them around them, they will take it out on them. So I don't know. I want to look more into like his mom. No, I'm not going to go harass or anything like that. I just want to see who she is. Thank you, Amanda, for that. And how cool it gets highlighted.
When your baby's not here anymore, you know, you literally, you feel it the day it happens, you know. And yeah, I've woken up with panic attacks and woke up calling family members freaking out because like I just have a terrible feeling all the time. But I don't, it's not a feeling of that she's not here anymore, you know.
With his violent past and addiction, I mean, do you think he could have?
I feel like he sold her. I think he sold her because the same week that they're saying this happened, the day after Thanksgiving to December 6th, was the week after my son legally got adopted on the news. You know what I mean? And he knew what my son looked like. I feel like he sold her. I think he sold her because the same week that they're saying this happened, the day after Thanksgiving to December 6th, was the week after my son legally got adopted on the news. You know what I mean? And he knew what my son looked like. You know, that's my daughter's brother, you know. So he saw that, and I really think it's connected.
So she thinks that he sold her. And I think this is alarming because even though I mean I don't know them, right? We don't know them. But she thinks he sold her when she's asked, "What do you think happened?" And she thinks he sold her. That's pretty alarming because we need to remember she was in a relationship with Adam. She knows Adam. And for her to come to the conclusion of he sold her is kind of scary. Is a lot scary, actually. Now, what she's saying about how, he probably seen on the news that her son Jameson was, adopted out, and she's thinking that maybe he's seen that and got the idea of, oh, I can, you know, do it illegally, like underground way. What do you guys think? Do you think there's a possibility she was sold? What do you guys think? I personally, I feel like, unfortunately, that Adam did something to her. He was angry, and I think he did something. I did see that, Lisa. I shared it. It was actually really scary and alarming to watch that. I want to see what you guys think. Do you think that he possibly sold her? Comment right now.
I think like he got that idea from seeing that and was like, oh, I can do it illegally, you know, because not for nothing, right around the same time, you know, human trafficking was at an all-time high. So was organ harvesting, which I don't even want to go there, you know, but at least if he sold it to a family that legally can adopt or something, you know, there's still hope that she's at least safe somewhere, you know.
Do you feel any guilt?
Oh yeah, every day. Every day. I played a part in this. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm innocent. Like, I'm a recovering addict. Like, when I gave birth to her, I didn't know nothing about being a parent. I didn't know nothing about getting in recovery, but I never stopped trying. I always went into program after program after program, trying to, you know, prove to her and my family that I wasn't going to stop until I got better, you know. And I just, you know, especially when I kept reaching out to Adam, kept reaching out. Like, I even was like, I even wanted to show him, like, look how far I've come, you know? Yeah, there's a lot of shame and guilt, you know, that come with this. But it's not gonna set me back. It's not gonna.
For who was the person that said they spoke with her? Let me see. What was her name in the chat that said they spoke with Crystal? Right now, she makes the comment that, you know, she was trying to get better off and on. So I'm wondering, does anyone know when she actually 100% got clean? I'm wondering, did she spend a lot of 2020 in and out of, you know, trying to get better? Has she been clean this year? We're really beginning this year. True crime with EVP. I just wonder, how long has she been sober? That's my question. How long has she been actually sober? It would make sense why, to me, you know, if she's just barely really trying to find harmony, because the other year she was, you know, doing drugs, getting clean, doing drugs, getting clean. Gretchen says, my estimate is sober 2 months, 3 tops. Scott says, he can find 22 people that he knows right now bragging about 4 years sober, but have been doing their drug of choice every day. No, definitely Miss Emotions, and no one is saying that. But I do believe also that when someone is addicted to drugs, that, you know, their children aren't safe in their care. Because, I mean, you're on drugs, you're not in the right mind to be watching a child. But definitely not saying all addicts hurt their children. No, never. I'm going to push play and then I'm going to see what she says.
It's gonna motivate me to keep fighting for her and keep looking for her, because if I can't speak for her, who else is going to? You know? Look, it happened for 2 years because I wasn't her voice, or I couldn't be, or nobody could hear me. You know? I just want people to hear me and come forward and tell us something, because somebody knows something. It's a fact. Like, someone knows something, and either they're too afraid to get in trouble or whatever, but someone knows something.
And just my last question: the search happening at the house now.
They're just scouring for any type of anything.
Do
Really.
you think there's something at that house?
No. I don't have a feeling like there's I get these crazy intuitions. I always have, and I don't have any type of intuition about that house. I feel like they're wasting time, to be honest. But that's just my opinion. I'm also hoping as well, that there's nothing. So
Well, thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it, Chris.
Most addicted people neglect their own care and are likely to neglect their kids. Yes, no doubt, no doubt. Miss Emotion says she knows the month and year that I got clean 11 years ago. Congratulations. I mean, I messed with drugs for a good year and I've been clean for, what is it? She's like 16 years now. And I remember that it was 4th of July and I said, you know what? It was like, I think it was like 16 years now. Gosh, it's been so long. But I remember it was 4th of July and I remember thinking, because I was young and I was like, oh, it's just fun, I'm not hurting nobody, I didn't realize it. And then it was like, this isn't even fun anymore. And I'll never forget. It was 4th of July and I was like, screw this shit. I'm better than this, and never touched it again. And it's been like 16 years. But see, I don't know. For me, I'm thankful that I never was like where I needed to go to rehab or anything like that. Um, I mean, I know people who've been in rehab. I was an enabler, which I think, gosh, that's really hard to be in that situation right there. And I feel so horrible for any family, immediate family, that deal with someone who's addicted to drugs. And anyone who has dealt with someone addicted to drugs, if you've had someone you loved in your household that's been addicted to drugs, you know why I'm saying that. It's one of the scariest and saddest things to go through and frustrating things to go through. Hey, Ken, he says, sorry I'm late. Hope is all well today. Yes, it is. All right, you guys. So I'm going to now jump into, hey, Amber, I'm going to now go over some of these incident reports. That's what we're going to go into, and then we'll just have a little discussion and we'll wrap it up. Karen says, doing this interview. Did I miss your comment, Erin? Scott, I doubt this feeling. She was cold. Oh, you don't think she was cold? She was going through a drill during this interview. I get it now. Hey, Insanely, how are you, Paula? I quit with the free program. Let's highlight that. Thank you for sharing all your guys' stories too of getting clean and everything. Thank you guys for sharing that. I know a lot of people sometimes don't want to share it on social media. To me, I share these things with you guys because, I think when you go through things and you share it, other people feel more comfortable to share their story. And sometimes you feel like you're alone in your own journey. I know I felt like that with a lot of things in my life. I felt like I was the only one who felt a certain way. So it feels good to know that other people also go through what you are and you're not alone. You know what's so crazy? Delana, when I look at your guys' chat, before I start reading this, when I look at your guys' chat on StreamYard, when you guys highlight it in green, if you're a member, it doesn't pop up on StreamYard, only if I'm looking at it on YouTube. So I have no idea you guys have been doing that this whole time, but it looks pretty dope. She says, we love you, CC. So blessed to be part of the crazy town. And Delana, you guys know she is one of my mods. I adore her. She sent me a package of Valentine's ornaments. So once I get them, I do want to do a little open. I want to open the box and show you guys the ornament she sent me for my tree that I just don't want to take down. So it's going to be a Valentine's tree. All right, let me jump into reading this for you guys. Let me take that off the screen. Hey, Logan's mom, how are you today? Okay, so I'm gonna just I hope I uploaded them all in order. I'm not gonna look at chat right now, you guys, because I'm gonna be reading this, and you know I am one who gets distracted pretty easily. So this would be an incident report that was dated 9/12 of 2019. Now it says on 9/12/2019, this case was emailed to DCYF Central Intake for their review. Now all right, and that's the biggest I can make it for I can read it, you guys. So let me again, I'm not looking at chat. It says, I spoke to Kevin. He told me Adam and his family had taken over the house since Helen had gone to Florida. Kevin, again, is the uncle, said they originally inhabited the upstairs but took over the rest of the home. Kevin said he and Helen only wanted to retrieve some personal items before Adam and his family are to be evicted at the end of the month. Now, Kevin, and I'll play it for you guys after this, he did an interview and he talks about this incident that he went to the residence to get some of the items, and this is when he's seeing Harmony. It says, I then entered the home with Helen to retrieve her property. Just so you guys know, obviously law enforcement had been called because Kevin and Adam got into it, arguing. He didn't want to let him in the house. So that's what I'm reading right now. Sorry, I should have said all that before I started. I then entered the home with Helen to retrieve her property. While inside the residence, I observed clutter in every room consisting of clothing and empty food containers. Adam told me although the power had been turned off several months ago due to non-payment, he has a portable generator in the driveway which powers the refrigerator. I could see food in the cupboards and refrigerator. Adam further explained that the home has running water as well. I went upstairs with Helen where I contacted Adam's wife, Kayla, and 3 children, which the 3 children's names have been redacted. All 3 children appeared to be clean and fed. Their clothing was appropriate for the current conditions. Although this was highly disheveled, it did not appear unsafe. The argument was diffused and both parties separated after the property was retrieved. Now, this is when, would this be the incident where the uncle witnessed the black eye? Which wouldn't make sense to me. I'm wondering if this is a separate incident. Okay, so this right here, let me see. Let me make it a little bigger, kind of. So this one is dated August 5th of 2019. And the nature of incident, it says to check conditions of subject. Now, of course, there's certain information redacted, but it says neighbor concerned. Let me make this bigger. Hold on, guys. Neighbor concerned about young child living at the address said she thinks the parents are squatting there and have no electricity, just a small generator, and there is trash everywhere. She is concerned for the child and asked that we check the conditions. Now it says Montgomery has been here several times. Have had assisted DCYF on check conditions here as well. Everyone's home, generator is running, food in the house. It says that they are healthy, all is well, still working with Demetrius from DCYF. So those are going to be the notes from the officer on scene. So someone calls it in about a young child, and I wonder what child they were referring to, but they're calling for a young child living at this address, said that she thinks the parents are squatting there. There's no electricity, but they have a generator. There's trash everywhere, and they're concerned for the child and asked for this check to be done. And it says that DCYF is aware of it. There's Demetrius working with them. On the report, it says the generator is running. There's food in the house. They are healthy. All is well. This one is August 21st of 2019. And this is, again, the nature of the incident is check security on the building. Now, excuse me, it says from the notes, squatters in the building, THA home is up for auction. There is a generator running again, and there is trash all over the place. Unknown exactly how many people are in there. Getting numerous calls about this. So they were getting a bunch of calls over someone squatting there. Let's see. Tenant Adam is in the process of being evicted. His uncle Kevin Montgomery has been calling and checking conditions and harassing him. DCYF has been involved as well. So again, DCF aware of these situations. This one again, someone's calling to check on the building because Adam is there, squatting in there. This one now is dated, what is that? January, that's September, right? Yeah. Right, what month am I? Yeah, September. September 5th, sorry, on my end it's so tiny, I don't even have my glasses. Hold on, let me put my glasses on. Hold on, guys. All right, September 5th, 2019. The nature of this incident is an all animal complaints incident. Now it says, caller says that she is concerned that the dog that is at the address is being abused. When asked about abuse, she hears people inside yelling at the dog, and then the dog yelping and more yelling. Says ongoing problem. Says that the dog then gets put outside. And I know no one knows what happened. No one knows where this dog is either. So there's that incident. And I think there's one more. There's this one. This one is dated September 18th of 2019. And then the nature of incident for this one would be check area for problem. Now, this one says in the notes, the caller lives in the neighborhood at 3 a.m. His wife, I think it's supposed to say heard music and a lot of talking. This morning, there has been no movement from the house, and the car appears to have been broken into. Said there is pry marks all over the car. We've dealt with this address quite a bit in the last couple of months. Let's see, she was all set. She's all set. I don't know what else I was saying right there. And then there is Harmony. So I don't know, you guys. It's pretty upsetting, though, to hear all of these reports being made. There was another one where it said that there was a foul smell. It looked like the door was left open, and it seemed like there was a foul smell coming from the residents, that they were possibly airing it out. Now, other people were saying that they don't believe that's probably just the trash and everything from inside the house that, unfortunately, a death smell is something that you can pretty much pinpoint. So not sure if that means anything. We don't know with law enforcement being there. I mean, I don't think so, but I thought that was interesting. I just wanted to point out that, there was a foul smell coming from the house and they left the door open. And at the end of the day, of all of this craziness and all of these reports and all of this, there's this little girl who is missing right now and hasn't been seen for 2 years, which blows my mind. Let me go back to the comments. She is all that matters right now. And I really hope that Kayla is going to talk. I really do. I hope she flips and she talks. Her mom did that little interview. I'm sure most of you watched it. Do you guys want to watch her mom's interview real quick before we wrap it up? Or what do you guys say? You guys already seen it all. Look at the little sweetheart right here. This little face. How can anyone even hurt her? This is just crazy. You're right. It's insanely confused. It's extremely crazy. All right, let me grab it for you guys. Hold on. I just love this picture of her right here. I just think she looks so cute right here. And this one, look at her. Look at her little face. It's so sad that, you know, everyone around her, you know, addiction. Adam suffers from addiction too, they say, and her mother suffered from addiction. And, you know, thank God, though, thank God that her little brother was placed in a good home. And it's just sad that Harmony got placed back with her deadbeat dad. And based off of what Crystal said, I'm kind of wondering if she was placed back in his care, because how she states she wasn't able to, you know, be at two places at once. And Jameson had a court hearing that day, and Harmony had one. And she's like, and you know, she was placed with her dad, and it was kind of like they said it's because it's been 4 years and they just want to close the case, which, you know, that's her opinion on it, but so upsetting. Let me grab that interview. And I had uploaded that too, and I never put it out. Okay, hold on. Do you guys want to watch? Okay, so let me ask you guys a question. Did you guys hear? You guys have read Kayla's arrest warrant, right? You guys have all read that. I just want to see. Have you guys read that? I can play that. It's already pre-recorded. I did a video where I pre-recorded reading the warrant for her arrest for the food stamps fraud, and then I also incorporated her mom's interview. And I'm thinking I could just play that right now instead of trying to go on YouTube and find it. I think I have it already saved. Let me see. Let me go to my YouTube. Hold on, guys. Your channel. I need to go to my channel. Lady says, Lady is a Trump says she hasn't heard it. She's been working 3 doubles. Oh, girl. Is today your day off? All right, let me go to my studio. All right, let me go to my YouTube studio and I'll play it for you guys. Now, I just want to say I recorded this. Just remember, I recorded this. Amanda, when did we do our live? Do you remember when we did our live? What day was that? Because I recorded that that day, that whole night. I stood up all night recording this. So keep that in mind when you watch it. Let me get to it. Did I never upload it? Tell me I did. I thought I uploaded it and I guess I didn't. Why didn't I do it? I didn't. All right, so I'm going to upload it right now and I'm going to set it for premiere. So I could have freaking, I can't believe I didn't do it. I thought I did. Hold on, guys. Let me see. Give me 1 second. All right, let's see how long it would take to upload. Hold on. Give me 1 second, you guys. If it doesn't take long to upload, I'll stay on here with you guys. Let me see what it says, what YouTube tells me. Let's see. Let's see. Upload. And it's this one. All right, yeah, so it's gonna take like 20 minutes to upload. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, you guys, I'm going to um upload it and do it as a premiere. So within like, just be on the lookout within like 30 minutes, and it should be ready to go. We'll do it as a premiere, and we'll watch it together. I thought I uploaded it, but I guess I didn't, which is really weird. I could have sworn I uploaded it. Now it's gonna bug me. Let me see what you guys are saying. Miss Emotion says, I feel like he heard her. He'd be so disorganized as far as hiding it. I really hope she's okay, but it's not likely. Yeah, I agree with you 100% on that. Hey, John, how are you? It's good to see you. Okay, Scott. Yeah, fishing explorer. That's what I'm thinking too. Now that Crystal brought up Adam's mom, I know a lot of people have been trying to figure out who is Adam's mom exactly. Where is she at in this whole scenario? And I can't seem to find anything like with social media aspect of it all. So I asked Amanda if she could help me with it because she's really good at getting that kind of stuff. So we'll see what we find. But Crystal believes that possibly Harmony is with Adam's mom. And it seems like if Adam's mom is someone who isn't in contact really with him, the way she makes it seem, like no one would think to go there. So I'm just hoping that law enforcement, I'm listening while at work. While Sandra, have a good day at work. I'm hoping law enforcement has talked to her. All right, you guys. So I'm going to upload that right now. So give me about 30 minutes and then just make sure your notifications are on. Just keep in mind, you guys, that this video that you're going to watch again with me right now in about 30 minutes, I pre-recorded it. I think it was the day me and Amanda went live, which I think was Monday of last week. I think it was. Was it Monday? I don't know, but just keep that in mind when you're watching it, okay? So I'm going to wrap this up so I can do that right now. I want to thank you guys for being here with me and just talking, this case and all the new information we're learning. It's very, very upsetting. And I'm checking to see if there's anything new. Let me see if there's anything that just came out. We already talked about Harmony's stepmom and the new charges. She has 8 new charges on her. Bail's been denied for her. We talked about the search. We went over the reports that have been made. I'm just making sure mom's interview. I'm just making sure I went over everything I wanted to. Okay, yeah, I did. Okay, so I'm gonna set that. I'm gonna go upload that right now for you guys, and I will talk to you guys. Hopefully, all of you guys all in just about like 30 minutes. So I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Okay, thank you guys.